Five, four, three, two, one.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Mufc Realist TV. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. If you haven't done it as of yet, I'm going straight for the kill because we are on a hunt for the Red October. Actually, Ten Hag is hunt for the Red October. We want to win. We want to attack. We want to get maximum points as we can until we play City on the 27th of October. Will it be a high-scoring line? Who's going to start? There's a massive dilemma. There's a massive headache. But I'm here to give you the insights about how we might line up, how we might play with no other than my co-host, Phil Standish. Phil, good afternoon.
Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good night. If you've just joined us and you're off already,
Yeah,
don't go.
Listen,
don't go. Stay with us.
Don't go. Stay with
Give us
me.
an hour of your time.
Yeah. Phil, tell me, how does it feel? Ollie at the wheel. Sorry, but we are on the hunt for a Red October. We have kind of easy games of fixtures. Not really easy. Never is it easy with all the Premier League teams are very good at the moment. But by the looks of the paper, we have kind of easy games of fixtures. We have players coming back from injuries. And we coming off of 2 in a row bounce of victories. We played Crystal Palace. A little bit of a weaker side, but still, we're playing a game at Old Trafford, Theatre Dreams. What's your thoughts and feelings, my friend? Will it be a different game?
I think it will be a different game. I think it always is. Obviously, you end up with a situation where you end up with a cup game midweek, and then you have a Premier League game the week after, or vice versa. Premier League game and then a cup game follows up. It happens, and you learn to deal with it. It was interesting to see the press conference after from Roy Hodgkinson. He was very what's the word?
School teacherish.
Yeah, he was, but he was in admiration of Man United.
Well, guess what, Phil? He looks like my old principal.
He admired us.
Yeah, he did.
He looks like Mr. Burns. He looks like Mr. Burns off up in Simpsons, doesn't he?
Mr. Burns from the Sins. My pretty little power plant. He will always
Mr. Burns and Hannibal Mesbury with sideshow Bob.
He's been around. He's been around. Like, did you know that Roy Hodgson started his career almost in Sweden? He spent almost 10, 11 years in Sweden coaching here in the first division and the women's team as well. Yeah. So he's been around. Like, how old is he, by the way? 81, 80? He's the same age of Alex Ferguson, almost.
Is he 77, something like that?
Yeah.
How old is Roy Hodgkinson? If you go Google, go find it.
Why are they keeping him in that case? Is that like, he's part of the inventory, he's part of the furniture with the club?
He's got the experience, doesn't he? At the end of the day, he's probably one of those where if anybody ever does want to fire him, they're like, no, you tell him. He's a nice guy. You tell him. I don't want to tell him. No, I don't want to be the bad person who does. You can't attack him. He'll never get over it.
Come on,
Roy
that is the best.
Speaks 7 languages, by the way. Nice little bit of info. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Love that.
I mean, if you look at the Senate in the US, in the Congress, you have the same, like, it's like a retirement home. You have so many old senators and stuff like that. They're sitting there over 80. I'm not going to mention names, but you know who I'm talking about. Somebody's coming in front of a camera and just freeze, cannot even string a couple of sentences. And then you have, like, Roy Hodgson. Like, clear and obvious, people are saying, like, great managers like, Jose Mourinho and stuff, like, the game has passed them. They train in Roma and stuff like that. 76, yeah. So, like,
I was close to 77. That wasn't a bad guess.
Yeah. So he's seen it all. Like, he lived the age of teletext, mobile phones, tactical boards, manual tactical boards to iPads. You know what I mean? It's got like, okay, he's still standing there.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you saw he was trying it, cup game, didn't put his full first team out, whether that was because of giving somebody a chance or because of injuries. I heard there was a few injured, obviously. So yeah, and I think they had a couple of players out. They had a few players out, didn't they? And obviously so did we. But we had some coming back from injury.
But You were saying something about
And
he showed us a lot of respect in the post-match interview, but if you look at
respect,
how he
that's
lined
the
up,
word I was looking for. I couldn't think of the
yeah,
word. It was simple as that, respect.
but from minute one, how he lined up, like he parked the bus and he showed us too much respect on the pitch, to be honest, which allowed us to grow into the game, which allowed us to start playing our style of ball, which everyone was talking about that we don't have a style of football, right? But we clearly saw after that game, everyone was buzzing, everyone was smiling. You know, you couldn't even separate 11 players that was on the pitch who was the man of the match. It was like 11 Simon's twins. You know, you have to
It
separate
was
them off.
nice to see. It was nice to see. I mean, I said in my little match review, which you posted earlier today, simple. To me, I know Casemiro was absolutely standout, by far the best player on the pitch. And I know you said you couldn't separate them, but he did just stand above. He was like, you could tell he brought his experience. He brought every all his history that he's gathered, all the games he's played, and he just brought it to that game. He was just like calm. He never once looked erratic in a tackle. He didn't look erratic in a pass, in a decision. He wasn't panicking, tracking back. He wasn't grabbing people because they got away. He just looked composed. And I feel that having Amrabat alongside him made that. It just gave him the chance to go, yeah, okay. When someone trusts someone else around them, they can play better their game. And we said this last season when we were saying why we're not getting as many goals and stuff, and they didn't trust the year before last. They didn't trust the defense. And when we got Martinez and Varane and obviously Shaw and you know, and Dalot, Wan-Bissaka, we started playing as a stronger team again. You can trust the team around you, so you can start to play in your own position. And I think that was the difference. And obviously the freedom for Garnacho to push forward, and Pellistri down the wings, pace, both young players determined to make a difference
so beautiful,
to the team
refreshing.
and take the chance. It was lovely. And to be fair, it's not often we say this, but I'm going to say Maguire had a good game as well, actually.
Yeah, and will he be playing himself into a retention to start? Or I don't think so. I mean, there was a story that came out just now. I just seeing there here on One Football app that Everton are interested in loan deal to move for Harry Maguire in January. So that's not a bad shout. You know, if that depends on if he wants to play regular football, right? You know,
yeah.
I mean, he's still down in the pecking order, being fourth or fifth, but still, he put it in a very good performance, actually. You know, against Palace. But at the end of the day, that was not the Crystal Palace strongest 11, to be honest. And I don't see him getting a sniff like in this Saturday's game. I'm actually going to just sneak peek share because we're going to reshuffle these cards. We're going to rebuild, but I'm going to add this to the stage. I just did this, like, you know, this was my starting 11 in my mind, like, you know, which we all going to sort of reach for the Saturday. Yeah. I mean, we all going to pick it together, but I just did a little bit of a cheat. What do you call it? A little bit cheat code. Cheat code. Yeah, a cheat code. Yeah. In my mind, I Reguilón is coming back because he wasn't injured. He was just sick.
He was just
Lindelof, Varane, Diego Dalot, Onana, Casemiro, Amrabat, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford. Rashford's coming back in. So coming back in. You know, I do want to see like in a Garnacho. I do want to see a Pellistri, but I don't think so. So I think Mason Mount showed a very good game. Like you couldn't even tell he was injured for 5 weeks. So he's definitely coming back into the right wing, and you will see Højlund or maybe Tony Martial. But keep Tony Martial hungry on the bench and let him come in the second half. Like, you know, that's kind of my cheat code. We're going to take this away. We're going to change it. I don't know.
I mean, looking at it, I agree with, I think, most of those. It's just, is Mount, similar conversation to what we had last week. Is Mick going to play on the right? Is Mount going to play on the right? That's the question. We've seen how well he can play. Again, I thought he had a great first half. He put a foot wrong. He was tracking back. He got his assist. He wasn't going for a shot where the keeper saved it. It was wide. It was never going in. It looked, he was laughing, but it was never going in. It wasn't. It wasn't even a shot. He had an outside curl on it, so inside curl on it, so it was coming away from goal. It was always meant as a cross. So listen, I think he had a great first half.
Yeah, he absolutely had a smashing first half. Like, you know, of course, there was a lot of players that came back from injuries, so you cannot you got to ease them in a little bit, like 60 minutes
Absolutely.
for Amrabat, 65. Same with Mason Mount. And by the way, now you're looking fresh, like now. Before you were a little bit blurry, but I guess your son got off his internet and playing PlayStation at Twitch. That is the nightmare when you're sharing the broadband, like in a house, isn't it? Like when everyone is on the internet, because you look a little bit blurry, but now you look perfectly fine.
Me, I think the kids have just gone. I think the kids have just gone to bed. So, well, one of them has.
Finished.
So that's the iPad out the way with Roblox trashing the signal. So yeah, I'm glad to say I look perfect. It's not often I hear that.
Yeah, Jarvis is warming up. He's coming in 5 minutes. He just messaged me, to be honest. But before we let Jarvis into the house, and he's in the doghouse at the moment, so we're gonna sort of, as per tradition, we're gonna shout out to everyone in the VR room, guys. Don't forget to get those like buttons up, because YouTube algorithm hasn't really been kind to us. We're gonna talk this off the topic. If you do gonna use sensible words, because YouTube has implemented a new algorithm. That means they're reading the chat, so don't use the F-bomb word and stuff like that, because it will pick it up and we will get a yellow ticker, and that means that not good for us. We've been getting yellow tickets now 3 videos in a row, 3 live streams in a row, and either yesterday we were just so polite, we were just doing according to the regulations, but still got yellow ticker 12 hours after. It was really weird, like we spoke about the G's, like the establishment, and as soon as you spoke about the establishment, the owners of the club, 24 hours later got shadow. You know what I mean? Wow. I'm not going to say the word. Yeah. So I've been speaking to fellow content creators that have been having the same issue. So we sort of kind of worked around, like how we sort of got to work around it. So you can speak in codes, but yeah, it is quite scary at the moment, like how it's coming down in the information freedom, FFP, freedom of FFP. Yeah,
freedom for people,
right? Freedom for people. Yeah, freedom for speech. Anyway, Edward Reed is in the house. Welcome to the VR room, guys. Don't forget to like and smash the like. Basically, push this video up in the algorithm. That's all we can ask for. And if you want to donate, super chat, feel free. If you want to become a member, gift membership, really help us. That means that I can pay Phil more Snickers over there. But Edward Reed is here to say 11 players will start. 11 players will start. We have more than 11 players.
Finish, that'd be good as well. We'd like 11 to finish. That'd be a better game.
People are already like, you see how positive, 2 victories in a row, like, and that is all it takes, Phil. That is all it takes for this fragile fan base to flip-flop around, to get some positive vibes going, right? We, on the other hand, on this channel, always been positive, to say believe. Milos Mitic is in the house saying, Amrabat, Casemiro, Mount, Bruno, i Sredni, Rashford, i Højlund, i Unapado. It means, in translation from Serbian, Amrabat, Casemiro, Mount, Bruno in the middle, and Rashford and Højlund in the front. Well, that means, Milos, that we are playing, a 4-4-2? Doesn't really make sense, but yeah, I get your point. Next, we have, who do we have? Angie in the house.
Good evening, Angie.
Our beautiful Angie. There's only one Angie, to be honest. Angela, we love you to pieces, and thank you for everything that you do for the VR room, for moderating, for donating, for just being the housekeeper in here. Thank you so much. Big up to you. Good evening to you as well. Let me know also in the comments what your score prediction is. Who else do we have in the VR room, Mr. Standish?
I was just going to ask, if you are in the VAR room right now, drop your name and where you're from, even if we've met you a million times before, and then we can give you a quick shout out. See how far the spread is around the country, around the world.
Demographics.
Let's just give a quick shout out. So we don't want your address, no full address,
no
just the town
number
that you're from. Just the country and the town that you're from. Give us a quick shout.
Milos Mitic.
There we go. First one in. Mark from Denmark. Fantastic. Great start.
Yeah, we know that already. Denmark, Mark.
Yeah. We've got ML from London. And this is it. Simple, quick, fast like this. William Connolly from Manchester. Sheikh Shasim in Birmingham.
You're in Birmingham. Lucky's from Birmingham.
Nice. Very good. Very good. Let me keep my eye on this. London, Barcelona caught with their pants. Oh, no, that's not our. Mateus from Leicester.
Are you from Leicester, Matt? Cool.
From Brooklyn. Oh,
yes, I knew that.
That's
Besties
really
from
cool.
Brooklyn.
I did not know that. That's cool. Neil from East Devon. Lovely.
Ooh,
Lovely.
lovely.
Love
Cool.
Cornwall, St. Ives, the South. I'm from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but live in Toronto, Canada. Lovely.
Ooh,
Fantastic. I
bonjour.
love this. This is great. Just getting to know where you're all from. And Janie Wayne from Old Trafford, born and bred. Love it. Fantastic.
Oh, really?
Ellen Tenno from Mick's Backyard. You better go and shut that door because someone's stalking you.
Really? No,
Just make
actually,
sure your
Peter
door's
lives.
locked.
No,
Just
seriously.
here for a minute.
Oh, Peter lives in my backyard. He's feeding all the hedgehogs and my cat and dog. Like, I can see him in the night sneaking into my backyard. So big up, Peter.
Good stuff. Gothenburg, Sweden for Martin
Oh,
Hansen.
Göteborg, känn ingen sorg för mig, Göteborg. You know what I mean, Martin. Du vet vad
I'm
jag
glad
menar.
you do, because I've not got a clue.
He's from my
Fimpoli,
town. He's
5
from my
miles
town.
from Old Trafford.
Jag är göteborgare, 030, vet du.
Yeah.
Ja, precis. Okay,
Yeah,
what do we
fantastic. I think we've got. Oh, there we go. Walthamstow, London, Madhouse.
That's posh Madhouse.
There you go.
Maybe Madhouse is. I think Madhouse
from my
is
wife's nightmares. Love it.
I think Madhouse is actually Harry Maguire in disguise.
Is he from London? Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody knows. Let's call Harry's mom.
Kenny fan. Early morning, Sydney.
Sydney,
yes.
big up. Welcome, Sydney. How are you doing?
Exeter. Oh, fantastic. Neil Driscoll. Very good. Think that's probably most of the shot. There we go. We have got Jonathan, Sweden.
Södra Sandby.
And Milas Mitic.
Oh, I don't know where Milos Mitic is from. Odakle si, Miloše? Odakle si? U skoj grada? I just asked him in Serbia.
William Connie on the north side of Manchester. Yeah. So yeah, thank you everyone for giving me a shout out, sharing that.
We have
great.
Swedes, we have Mancunians, we have Canadians. What else do we have here? We have some Americans, Brooklyn, we have Australians.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a global
great spread of people. Fantastic. It's a global good to see so many of you. 54 people in the chat. We've shouted out about 20 of you there. So if anybody else wants a shout out, give us your quick where from, and we'll give you a shout out if we catch it on the
I mean, basically our community is growing and growing. So it's all about it's all about you people. We want to sort of engage with you as much as possible. Later on, we're going to open up the floodlines, for you to have a call and have a say. Just be civilized. Come in. If you have a webcam, turn it on, because it's always good to put a name to a face, but avoid having some alcohol or cigarettes when you're coming on, because certain algorithms. Maguire is 2 feet taller than me. Madhouse. I don't know. I'm a smurf myself, to be honest. I'm not so tall. I wish I was a baller. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I had a rabbit and a hat and a collar. Smash I like, guys. 100%. We're still waiting for Jarvis Cocker all the way from Tromsø, Norway, to call in as well. Jeff Steele, he's from Adelaide. Big up Adelaide, man. Adelaide in the house. Yeah.
Good evening.
How you doing, Jeffy?
Good morning. Right. 5:50 a.m. Wow. Have you just got up? Have you waited up for us?
Jeffy.
That's interesting.
I sent Jarvis to come and make you a fresh cup of Java, mate. A red eye. If you know what red eye is. You know what a red eye is? It's like a triple shot of espresso. Posh cause I live in Chester. Yeah. Big up Peter. Anyway, no, I'm feeling like, I took a little bit break today from all the content creators, because we're working on something. We are going to launch a website. We're going to do something big. We're going to basically everything, all the contributions that you guys been donating and super chatting and gifting a coffee. It's like by buying me a coffee, goes straight into the production, goes also into building the website. So it's going to be a game changer, 100%. And you find out there's so many in the communities, Andy Cooper, for instance, they're techie guys and are willing to help. So I'm just deeply thankful for everyone. If anyone is a graphic designer or anyone wants to contribute, please, everyone is welcome. It's an open platform, open mic, open karaoke, and we can all sing. Yeah. So, so anyway, we're on the road to 20,000, and hopefully within a year, we don't want to be too massive and too big because we want to keep this family feeling as well with you guys. I ain't full English though. I'm quarter Maltese. Oh, you're Maltese. Oh, cool. Schloch, Masha Schloch. I live Somerset and Dorset border. I lived in Malta, by the way, 1 year. It was pretty cool. I really enjoyed Malta. Have you been to Malta, Phil?
I've not been to Malta, no.
Oh, you should visit. Wow, it's so beautiful.
It's a place we've never been to. We kind of stick
pearl.
to Spain, to be honest. But that's just.
Have you seen Game of Thrones though? Did you watch Game of Thrones? Yeah.
Yes.
The
film.
That is fantastic. Yeah. They filmed part of that in location from Malta. It's so medieval as well, but it's a pearl. It's a pearl of the Mediterranean. Like, you know, when you stay in Malta, it's such a small island in a way, so you can get up and down in like in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Narrow roads, but geez, it's so beautiful. It feels like, you know, you're not. It doesn't feel like you're in Europe at all. Like, you know, the water is crystal clear, like, you know, turquoise water, beautiful beaches, and you know the culture, like, you know, the limestone buildings and everything, so medieval. Like, and it's got rich history, and the language is pretty funny as well because it's kind of a mix between Arabic and English, right?
Okay.
Yeah. But do you understand Norwegian?
No.
Do you want to learn some?
Yes, that'd be great.
Okay. Jarvis will teach you Norwegian now. Jarvis, welcome to the stream. You're late.
Big up, everybody. Good to see you all. Get up. And I see Elliot, Tenno, Mark, Craig, everybody in the chat, and you two guys sitting here chatting away. So what have I missed?
We just discovered where people were from.
Yeah.
We've just been having a chat, shouting out, getting people to shout out where they're from. We've got some from Canada, some from Adelaide, some from Brooklyn, some from Australia, some from Manchester, Chester, and Jamie Wayne has got a level 3 in web design. We might want to bear that in mind. There you go, Mick, in answer to your question.
We already engaged in Norwegian. When you meet people and you say hi in Oslo, they say "Hva skjer, bagera?"
Hva skjer, bagera?
Yeah, hva skjer, bagera?
Not got a clue what that is.
Kødder du?
When you say hi, just say if you meet a Norwegian guy or a girl, just say "Hva skjer, bagera?"
Yeah.
If you tell me what it means, I may consider it.
Bashera Bagheera. RG studied graphic design, but I wouldn't say I haven't been on the Adobe apps in years.
I'm exactly like you, RJ. I've not touched them for years, and I studied it as well. But it's,
me too. Like, you know, but I don't use Adobe anymore. I use something else. Like, I'm not going to promote it. And there's a lot of things that you can get. Yeah, there's a lot of free stuff you can do thumbnails, like, you know, on the web. But but I do all the graphics. I do all the motion design and, you know, video editing and cutting. And, you know, at the end of the day, like, you know, there's only 24 hours of the day. You have a family, you have a dog, you have a cat, you have not kids at the moment, but it's very difficult. Like, you know, I get like 4 hours. It's difficult
because your wife's away for a month, so you're never going to get kids that way.
Well, I think she's watching. Be careful. I think she's tuning in. She's watching. She's a little bit sick today. She got a little bit of flu.
Alvina, I hope you're feeling better. Better soon.
Yeah. If she's watching, yeah. She's supposed to fly on Sunday, so we're looking at if we can change the tickets, because there's nothing worse to fly when you have a flu. You know, your ears feels like it's going to explode because you get all the fluids going to your ears, the pressure, right? Oh my God, have you ever flown when you have those, when you have a cold? Oh God, your ears.
Not nice.
Try to blow. Anyway, so it's time to kick off the show. So we've been doing some warm up, stretching. Edward Reed is in the house. Who else do we have in the house? Stephanie Griffith. Everyone is here, part of the moderators and community. Kenny Fan TV, RJ, Mark is here. Luan France, we mentioned as well. Gave a shout out. Who else? Jarvis Cocker is here. You know, who else do we have here? Milos Mitic. I want to see where Milos is from. I'm always wondering where is Milos from. I know he's from Serbia, but I don't know which town because I want to sort of connect the dots. Big up to all of you, Milos Mitic as well. Dobroveče. Do you guys see where's Milos is from, to be honest? Jale Malmin, where's Jale from? In which town in Norway? That's all I want to know.
He was on the West Coast, someplace, he said. West Coast, but I don't know where. Maybe Bergen.
Bergen? Skarari Bergen. Dark Crow is here. Hello, Dark Crow. How you doing, my friend? Everyone, welcome. And let's kick off this show. RJ saying already they're cheat coding 3-6-1 formation.
Ooh.
So everyone is keen. ML is in the house. What do you have to say? Madhouse, do you mean Chelsea fan? Nah, welcome to the channel. Everyone is welcome. If you spot where Miller Smith is from, Mount to score first, assist in the match on the right wing. Yes, I predicted the Mount will start.
There we go. Uganda. Fantastic. Good evening, Kaluya.
Oh, Africa. Wicked.
Fantastic.
So we have Africa, we have Australia, we have Canada, we have America, we have a diverse panel.
Denmark.
Yeah, Lisa Jensen, all the way from Denmark. Big up to you, Lisa. How you doing? Okay, I'm not going to handle the chat right now, so we're going to dive right into the show. So tonight's show is all about you.
We have a little riddle from Jarle.
Oil capital of
He's
Norway.
from the oil capital of Norway. So do you know where the oil capital of Norway is?
Yeah, Doha.
Yeah, okay.
Abu Dhabi.
It's not from Doha.
Riyadh.
I'm not going to say. I will give it a couple of minutes. People in the chat can also have a guess. What's the oil capital of Norway?
He just disclosed it. Sandnes.
Oh, well, actually, it's where Holland is from. Stavanger.
Stavanger. Yeah.
Stavanger.
The Skara Stavanger, right?
Stavanger, yeah.
That's one dialect I don't understand. Like I do understand Norwegian, but I don't understand the Nynorsk. You know what I mean? The like, oof, I know, but it's beautiful.
I don't understand any of it.
Don't worry, we're teaching, my friend. You're here with the Norwegian
it's
and
a
the
little
Swede.
bit like you have dialects, like Scottish versus English. You know, they have a special accent. So in the West Coast, they have a special accent, and they don't say R as we say, but they say from the back of the throat.
I have a homie here from my town, Gothenburg, Martin. Wicked, really love it. Beautiful. Anyway, guys, let's kick on the show. Guys, you let us know what you want to start with. This is not my show. This is actually Phil United Standish show, so I keep quiet. What do you want to talk about today, Phil Standish? Up to you.
Yeah, so I've obviously already chatted a little bit about the game that we've had the other day and the performance that we did. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of discussion over the next 15-20 minutes or so about who the starting lineup will be. That's going to create a lot of discussion. For the first time in a long time, we're going to have some options available. It'll be interesting to see once Ten Hag has got a fully fit back defence, who he's going to pick, because still we haven't seen a consecutive run in the defence in 2 games in a row. I don't think it is. You know, you've got Johnny Evans has started, you've got Maguire, you've got Lindelof, you've had Shaw centre back, that was, you know, last season, Martinez, Varane. We've got so many, and half of them been injured. So I think it's going to be interesting to see who do we think is the strongest players available. That's what I want to ask tonight. Not necessarily who's going to start against Palace. Who do we think is the strongest lineup to go against? I know that it varies from game to game, whether you're going against City or you're going against someone who's further down the league. Would you play it different, or do we just go for it gung-ho? I mean, you saw I don't know how many of you saw the City game against Newcastle last night. That first half was something different. My word, I think in about the 38th minute, something like that, they put a stat up saying that City had 81 touches in the final third, and Newcastle had 1. I'm like, that is some dominance. But the result, I forgot to mention, they lost.
Yeah, and did you see the reaction of Pep Guardiola? I don't care about this cup. He was absolutely throwing his toys out of the pram.
Do you think? I couldn't work out whether he was being so arrogant and patronising, and he just didn't care, or he was just pretending to not be bothered whatsoever.
He was bothered.
Either way, it was a really interesting. He was like, "Yep. What do you think of him? Yeah, he played fantastic. What do you think of him? Yes, he was brilliant. What about him? Yes, he was perfect." It was just like, I'm not here to talk.
Don't get me wrong, though. Don't get me wrong, Jarvis. Jarvis, don't get me wrong. Like, I think it's like arrogance at the end of the day. Like, okay, you won a treble, but we didn't even feel it. Like, because it's so small fan base anyway. But you're coming in this season, think you're going to win a triple. You know what I mean? Got knocked out early stages.
Yeah, there's
that.
So
if you look at it,
great.
I think we will discover this season that City is not the same as it was last season. They have lost a couple of good players, like Gundogan, for example, who was really underrated, and now they have
Fantastic,
Kevin
yeah.
De Bruyne, who's getting up in his 30s and he's injured. So how are they going to keep on the success? And the mentality thing, you get a little bit full of winning all the time, and it's hard to get those 2-3 extra percent you need to be at the best top level. So maybe we will see a shift of City this season, and maybe they won't be as successful as everybody thinks. What do you reckon,
Yes.
Phil?
I think when you look at this comment by Jarvis, sorry, just 1 minute. This absolute correct. You have to think, if he really wanted to win it, why didn't he put Haaland on? Was it because he isn't bothered, and it's like now he can concentrate on the other three, and say we were beaten by a good team in Newcastle, who obviously were fighting for for the top of the league last season? Or is he just so arrogant that he believed the team he put out there could do it? You don't know. I'm not quite sure what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, you look at the lineup. He had some good, strong players out there. That Doku, when he came on, looked flippy. He looked special. He looked a fantastic player. He was really good. First time I've seen the season. But yeah, fresh. Why didn't he bring Haaland on in 70th minute? It's a really good question from Yala. It did make you wonder what his sort of thoughts were. I think the thing is, City are looking dominant, and I think it's the first game they've lost in something like 37 games or something random like that in all competitions, which was an alarming stat. I think he possibly has got so confident. I'm just glad that he's not got United next. There's a few games in between where we can find our feet. We've got 4 more games, I think it is, before we play them. 4 or 5 more games before we play them. And so I think, depending on injuries, I think City's got a wealth of talent. I think when you look, I think he's gone a little bit down the road of having too many good players. And so those, like the likes of Grealish, who is a fantastic player, obviously cost him 100 million, sat on the bench, can't get a game, and didn't look that good last night. Looked well off target and everything. So is he struggling now with trying to play the same team, and are other people losing faith? So whereas it might look like strength and depth, they might not actually have that if the mentality is not there. So could have an impact. Could have an impact. But they've not got a difficult group in the Champions League. No.
Oh, somebody stole my car. Yeah. Listen, my Prius. Who want to steal a Prius? Pep looked like a depressed egg. Listen, guys, I might go for a little bit of a rant here, for a second. And of course, we had a torrid start of the season. You look at the current table. Don't look at the current table right now. I think it's too early to look at the current table. City might be top of the league right now, 2 points behind, and Arsenal's 2 points behind. Those most of the top 4 haven't had their fair share of injuries. We had half of squad, 11 players injured, right? And rest assured that you come to a let's say in January, those teams are bound to have injuries anyway. That's going to disrupt their season. While we having our squad fit, right? So it's too early. We can catch up, because if you look at City, they started past couple of 2 seasons start slow. Same with Liverpool, and then they caught up at the end of the season. So I think it's what matters is the second half of the season. If you have fresh legs, if you have a healthy squad, and you can string along a running form as well. So therefore, this October now, the hunt for the Red October is so important for us to accumulate as many points as possible, right? Because we do face City on the 27th, and that is kind of a little bit of a dress rehearsal right now. We're facing Copenhagen in the Premier League as well. In the Champions League, we have Brentford, we have Crystal Palace. Who else do we have in between? This is those 2, right?
Sheffield United
and Sheffield. Sheffield looks like Sheffield look floored, by the way, to be honest. Like, they got a pumping 8-0, Evan up, 8 up.
Galatasaray and then City.
So it looks like we are having that togetherness back in the squad. Martinez, Licha looks, I read a report like he looks like he's okay. It's fine. It was just a precautionary because he's kind of feeling his metatarsus that he broke in his foot from last season. So, you got to take a little bit slow, right? But it comes down to Ten Hag and his medical and his coaching staff, how well they're going to rotate this squad. Because what we're going to talk about next is the headache, because all of a sudden we have a lot of players that can play on the right wing. We have Kobe Mainoo and also reports coming back about, Amad Diallo coming back after the international break. And that is like 14th of October. So all of a sudden you have plenty of players that can play on the right wing as well. Dos Santos is back for police, to talk to the police. And apparently his so-called ex-girlfriend is also going to talk about it. That's got to have a resolution. Midfield is stacked, right? All of a sudden, you've seen the performance of Dan Gore. You've seen performance of Hannibal. I don't know. It's a positive headache, guys.
I think with the injuries we've had, we've seen it in the past where it gives a chance to the youngsters. But Hannibal Mejbri, he's absolutely snapped up, fantastic. I thought he was looking up to get a second yellow in the cup game against Palace. He could have had a few second yellows if I'm honest. I thought Ten Hag would have took him off a little bit sooner because it was a bit of a risk, but it was definitely right to take him off. So whether that was just lethargy or just effort, he never stopped running, sort of thing. There's a cracking clip going around on social media where Garnacho and Mejbri come absolute sprinting back from a forward position, trying to track the ball down and make the tackle. So sort of thing. It's something that's just great to see because you've got that youth, you've got the energy, and you've got the determination to prove themselves.
I'm going to pose a question to the panel and to you guys in the VR room, right? If we look at our current squad depth, knowing what we have coming back, knowing what we're going to get fit, and you compare to Arsenal, right? You compare to Tottenham. Do you reckon we have with everyone fit, do you reckon we have a bigger squad to compete?
I think we do. I think, the only thing that you might question, you say with everyone fit, it's can everyone stay fit? Because, we've seen
if everyone
Martial
stays fit.
Yeah, I think Martial, he's looking a bit sharper. Not throughout whole games, but he's getting goals when he's playing, which is interesting. And so that he's obviously whether he's decided to turn up for the fight because Højlund's there now and he's got some real competition for that position. It's making a difference. We've got Højlund. We've mentioned the midfield absolutely stacked, and the defence when everyone's available is some good options, and you can play your different formations, different positions, different presses, a little bit hold it back or go gung ho sort of thing. I think the person I want to see hit the form again soon is Rashford because he's so off. Whether he's carrying an injury or what, I don't know, but something's not right. Something's not right.
I'm going to ask Jarvis a question there. Follow-up question in certain ways that, knowing that we, what I just said right now, I think the key ingredients for Ten Hag this season, the learning curve is, okay, don't overplay your players. Now you have the headache, what we're talking about. Rotation is key. I mean, why City won the league last season and why they've been winning the league, according to my opinion, though, is because they always come strong at the very end of the season. They're playing catch up, and they always catch up people because they do rotate. They have an amazing squad. You know what I mean? But if you're comparing the other Premier League teams like Arsenal, they get Thomas Partey injured, they get Odegaard injured, they're screwed. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's true.
So, what's your thought process regarding what I just mentioned? It might be a headache, but it might be a positive headache.
Of course, obviously, it's a positive headache for Ten Hag. Now we suddenly have options, but the thing is, we have depth in the squad at the moment. But I still feel we lack depth in quality in certain areas, especially when it comes to the defense with the center backs. Okay, we can play Evans, we can play Maguire, they can do a role, but the quality in our defense is two. We have two guys with quality, and that's Martinez and that's Varane. They both struggle with injuries. If one of them is out for 3-4 months, we are very vulnerable. Also, when it comes to the youngsters, we can't expect Gore and Hannibal and all of the youngsters to come in and play as good as they have done the last couple of games. So I wouldn't even count them in as squad depth, but they are good options. When it comes to the wingers, Phil has a great point when it comes to Rashford. It's about getting him back to form, because also when it comes to Garnacho, we know Garnacho, sometimes he plays brilliantly. He plays 25 minutes at the end of the game, and then he starts the next game and he does nothing. So he's a youngster too, and his performance will be up and down, and that's how youngsters are.
But in the cup game, he started and had a stellar performance, the stellar first. I think so. Yeah, it depends on. I mean, I think the recipe, according to my opinion, Jarvis and guys, is to keep players starved, like keep them hungry, keep them keep them lost. Yeah. If somebody's doing well, if you're sitting on the bench, you want to come in, you want to be for the team, right? Instead of sitting at home playing in a FIFA on Twitch.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is we have problems in squad depth, and especially when it comes to the striker position, we have Højlund and we have an injury-prone Martial. When it comes to the center-back position, we have Martinez and Varane, and both of them are struggling with injuries. So when it comes to 38 games of the season and Champions League and the League Cup and the FA Cup, I think we will struggle anyway, but it's good that we have options. Yes, of course. Suddenly we have options, and we have been really thin. We have been on the bone for the last 6-7 games. So finally we have some selection, and I think Ten Hag, we will see more from Ten Hag. You know, he's been under critique for his subs and how we construct his team, but now we will probably see a better Ten Hag also, because he needs options. So going forward, I have seen the match fixtures, and in my estimation, we should be able to have like 75 to 80 points when we're done with this season, and that's not going overboard, winning against the top team, top 6 teams away. So I think we still have a good chance this season to be the top 4 team, because you know City and Arsenal will be top 4. So it's between us, Liverpool, and Spurs looks good at the moment, and Newcastle. So there's 4 teams fighting for 2 spots, and I think we should be one of them.
We should be. Phil, Standish, United Standish.
Yes, mate.
Mate. If you look at the number of fixtures we have in October, how many maximum points do you reckon we can get out of those? I mean, we're talking about Brentford. We're playing most of the games at home.
So let me just have a quick look in matches. So you've got October.
We're playing Crystal Palace at home.
I'm just getting the full list up. Have you got it all there?
I don't. Do you, Jarvis?
Fixtures. Yeah, I've got it now. So October, you got Brentford at home, Sheffield United away. You've got Galatasaray at home, Brentford at home.
We're talking about Premier League then.
Bit of everything.
Premier League. If we're talking about Premier League only, like, forget about Champions League.
Okay, so Brentford at home, Sheffield United away, and then City at home. That's
City at home.
3 games.
That is the final crescendo in October. City.
If you can get 7 points out of that, you got to take it the way we're playing.
7 points.
Yeah, that's 2 wins and a draw against City. I'd love to beat City.
We'll beat City.
Need to see
I have a sneaky feeling we will beat City. We always rock up at Old Trafford. We are getting back into the form. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think we're seeing Amrabat. He just, I mean, when he first came on the other day in the left back position with about 5 minutes ago and gave a free kick away, you're just thinking, oh no, it's written. He's come on to make a difference, and he certainly made the difference. He's given them the goal, and it didn't happen. Fortunately, we defended the free kick. But then when you saw him the other night against Palace, it'll be really good to see Casemiro and Amrabat playing in the central defensive midfield, because them together control it. you know, Amrabat's supposed to be this aggressive player, and so far we've not seen it in that very short amount of time. That doesn't bother me, because what we are seeing is a good player, some good passing of the ball, some good switching of play. Absolutely fantastic. So to see Casemiro and Amrabat together is a really strong option.
Bill, are you surprised that Amrabat was that good?
I'm not. I mean, I was one of before the World Cup. I'd heard the name, but not to the point that you heard it after the World Cup, because obviously the difference that he made for a national side was just fantastic. He was the one who, you know, obviously that famous video of him tracking back Mbappe and stuff like that. He's obviously got the pace, he's got the tackle, he's not afraid. He'll go up against anybody, and he's a runner. He gives his effort, and I think when someone wants to play for your club as much as they do, and they've got that much talent, the two things together is a great chemistry, a great combination, and you're going to end up with some good results off the back of that. I think it's just we've got us, for the first time in a long time, we have got a solid looking midfield with options available. Yeah. But, you know, when we come to choose the lineup, we're not going to be going, oh, right, who should we pick from? We've got Fred, we've got McTominay. We're trying to pick who's the best of a bad bunch, sort of thing. We're going to be picking who can we pick, which is going to be best to dominate. We're going, you know, when we've got Maynard and everyone available, and Mejbri is playing so well, I really think this is the first week where Ten Hag's going to have a little bit of a headache trying to choose his team.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I was saying that last season. I agree with Craig Warby what he's saying here in the chat here, and I said the last season when we got Casemiro, and so finally we replaced Carrick with Casemiro. But now I will even say finally we have a Scholesy and a Carrick. To be honest, right? Somebody that wants the ball, spray passes from deep, and can tackle. I said this is a game changer.
Yeah, the difference is though, Scholesy couldn't tackle.
He couldn't tackle.
Yeah, it's true.
But it was good at passing and spraying the balls. Yes,
straight into them. That was it.
Yeah. So it feels like finally we actually have a strong midfield, and the week out is kind of Scott McTominay that needs to go in January. Like, you know, all of a sudden you can say that, like, you know, in pecking order, if you compare likes for likes, like, you know, Dan Gore shows more ability than Scott McTominay, right? You know, in terms of how he wants to play, the aggressiveness. Then you have, you know, Handball Mejbri as well. Like, you know, he's clearly fighting for the manager. Manager's saying that was good performance, but I want better, right? Oh, he did a yellow card and he came off, and that was not good, but good job, son. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, it's a good headache. Like, you know, should we just Scholesy was our glue in the midfield during the Fergie, 100%, Kenny. What you're saying there, I can see you guys. What you're saying in the VR room as well. Up the tempo, 100%. We will definitely up the tempo, and how we played basically in the Carabao Cup. I think we will line up almost the same. I mean, if Mr. Magoo is gonna, you know, have more respect for us again, we know who we're talking about. The principal, the Roy Hodgson. He showed us too much respect, and he's going to come in with the same attitude. I think he must have come off that pitch and say, "Oh, what just hit me here?" Like, you know what I mean? Because we had, like, you know, 796 passes completed, and almost, like, you know what, 90% pass completion. Whoa,
yeah,
you know?
That's 69. The pass completion, isn't it? And we just looked in control through the whole game, which was the difference.
69% possession as well.
So did we. And I just think that if they can improve the team, so can we. But I do think he's going to have such a headache. I mean, it's good. I like this comment from John Johnson. Giggs' highest tally of assists in one season is 12, and Beckham was 15. Hardly groundbreaking, but they play well throughout the game. And obviously, more importantly, Beckham got 10 plus 4 seasons in a row.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not always about getting a goal or assist, and this is what we keep saying about the players when they come on and they're like being greedy and stuff. It's like, just play as a team, and what can we do as a team?
No, but you know, Jarvis, I was Phil and Jarvis, I was analyzing the stats, and I was like, wow, and then comparing to other stats, and you know, we're saying we had the highest XG, like, you know, goal scoring creation, but finally, like, we had possession of the ball. Like, if you look at 69% possession, you know, how many shots on target did we have? 14 shots on target, but we converted. we converted all of a sudden 3-0, and we kept the ball. We played it wide. We closed off the midfield, and this is what I want to see, right? Moving forward from now.
I have a. I'm thinking today about how Ten Hag set up his team and the left back with Amrabat. It's very special to see. I think it was a little bit of a coincidence, but he took that left back as a pro because he's so intelligent in his play, Amrabat, and he knows how to position himself. So he solved that he saw that left back role perfectly in my mind. And I've been thinking maybe Ten Hag will build on this, because what Ten Hag wants to do, he wants to create overloads. But we have had problems because neither Luke Shaw or Dalot or Wan-Bissaka can fill in the midfield. So we have a trio and help out Casemiro in the pivot. But now we suddenly have that. So maybe Ten Hag will build on this and try to play Amrabat in that left back role, especially against weaker teams.
Okay.
So we will have like the three in the three center backs, as you can call it, and the two with Amrabat and Casemiro in the middle, because Amrabat slides in from the back four. So I think that's very exciting. And what do you think, guys, about that?
Well, we're gonna keep. I think we're gonna park that thought process when you say slide in, like he slides in, because we have a super chat to just slide in that we forgot.
Super chat, super chat, super chat, super chat.
Coming in with a raw uppercut, Peter Elianteno, big up to you, my friend. So honorable of you. Thank you, sir. Pep, the champ, yeah.
The chef.
Pep, the chef. Yeah, he's actually a 5-star Michelin chef, if you didn't know. He came on the show, yes. He's a 5-star Michelin chef.
Lovely. Fantastic.
I asked him yesterday, he came on, and I said, do you know who cooks at home? Like, is it you and your wife? No chance, he said. It's me, all right? But he's coming on with the super chat to say, Pep, but we won the treble. Sush, little city. Shush. Do sui. Shh. Big up Alien Tenor. So listen, we have to move on, right? So we have a positive headache. We have something that we're going to solve. So Angie, 65 watching, only 49 likes. What's going on here?
Come on, hit the like.
Hit that like button. Hit it.
Anyway, it ain't matter. As a community, we are who we are. That's it. But let's have a look at how we're gonna do the predicted starting 11. Sure. Hey, we have Panadols, we have all the trios, we have everything that we needed. We packed the medicine bag. We were talking about headaches, but I already done a cheat card that I want to share with you guys. But at the end of the day, guys, we are as a community. We need to pick this together. This might take some time, and I do expect to take a double Panadol after this show.
This is going to be hard to choose.
This is going to be hard to choose. So therefore, I already preloaded it, but I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. The way I see it, Jarvis, is basically when Anna doesn't go anywhere, 2 clean sheets in a row, 100%, big up to him. Regulon comes back into the team after suffering a little bit of an illness. I think it was a stomach illness. I rather prefer to see Lindelof and Varane as a partnership. There seems to be the one. I don't see Licha coming back in as of yet. Maybe he will be on the bench. Diego Dalot did a fantastic game against Palace. Keep him. Amrabat and Casemiro as a double pivot, as what we discussed. Bruno Fernandes comes back in. You got to play your captain, so he's coming back in. Rashford, I'd rather see a Garnacho and Rashford on the bench, but knowing what we know that he wants to play him into the form, I think Rashford will start and Mason Mount as a winger and Højlund on front. But it might be so that he starts. Guess who? In form. I would never believe that I could say this. In form, Anthony Martial. Now, VR room, guys, do you want me to start from the beginning, or do we agree with Regulon? Do we agree with the back four? I want to hear from you guys. I want to hear from the panel. I want to hear from the VR room. Let's go. Jarvis, take it away.
Yeah, as I said, I was very excited by Amrabat in the left back role because he could slide in the double pivot with Casemiro. So for me, I think we should try that again, especially when you see Rashford and Reguilon. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Reguilon is not the strongest one defensively, and Rashford doesn't help out at all. So I would put Amrabat in the left back.
Amrabat in the he would never play left back. Why you don't put him as a goalkeeper?
I don't understand. It's not the left back because the system is actually when we attack, it's 3-2-4-1. That's the system.
Yeah, where's Phil Jones? What Jonathan is saying here. You might as well put Phil Jones. Put him in.
He's training the under 18s, I think.
He is. He got a job right, didn't he?
It's true. Yeah. Fair play to the club because he dealt with a lot, and I know there's a lot of comments about his wages and stuff. But Matty are saying 100% Jarvis. I think the thing is, I think Reguilon played well so far. Every minute he's played for us, he's the one who's been everyone's been saying player of the match and stuff. And I think, I just think that Reguilon can play that left back position. You can leave Amrabat to start in midfield and just be solid in midfield and support. You can be box to box.
I mean, can you see that? Can you guys see that they will interchange if you start Amrabat there? We've seen how they played, because fullbacks usually tuck in, so they create 6 in the midfield, right? With Amrabat then dropping down a little bit deeper, allowing Reguilon to go forward, because Reguilon going forward, he's so good. But then Amrabat can take a step back and just protect their back line. You know what I mean? So if you can see that pattern,
so.
Right? Yeah.
I know you're saying, Jarvis, about being bullish at the back and can read the play and is good in the tackle. But we did just see in those few moments in that first game where he came on with like 6 or 7 minutes to go, straight away he gave a free kick away in the left back position. And he was interviewed after the match the other day saying, "What's your favourite position?" He said, "I'll play anywhere, but I prefer to play midfield," sort of thing. And I think at the end of the day, Reguilon, we brought him in. He was brought as a backup to Shaw and Malacia. But at the end of the day, he's been fantastic. He's been one of our strongest players. And I think my only question is, Lindelof hasn't looked as sharp this season. And would it be Maguire over Lindelof?
No, but Lindelof had a stellar performance. Everyone had a stellar performance. It looks like everyone is having a little bit of a, togetherness spirit. Everyone is fighting for each other. But, Varane is coming back in. They got a lot. I see this as, if we have a natural left back, why not start him if he's fit, right? So that's why I see, and play Amrabat when he's supposed to play in the double midfield, pivot. But as I said, this allows Reguilon to bomb forward, providing that overlap with Rashford if Rashford's going to play. So the left-hand side is going to look sick, to be honest. The question is, on the right-hand side, Dalot has been showing form as well. He's very dangerous in going forward. He was actually applying that assist as well to Garnacho. But if you look at weapons, right? Ten Hag always talk about weapons. The bench is equally important, right? You can have fresh legs from the bench, like threats, like Garnacho, like Pelistri, right? I don't know if he's going to play Mason Mount 90 minutes. Of course, it's going to take him off. Depends on the score results. But you can throw in, instead of Mason Mount, you can throw in a Pelistri and throw in Rashford. Throw in Martial.
When I play the kids football sort of thing, which I coach, I do like to have some strength on the bench. Sometimes you might look at a team and think, well, we'll not start that player because actually they can make such an impact from the bench. And sometimes you think, well, we need to start with our strongest team today, sort of thing. So you can just mix it about and stuff. But I think the thing is, Palace do have a threat. They have got a good team, and they've not been at the greatest this season, but they're only 1 point below us in the league on a better goal difference. So, and we know we haven't had a good start to the season, but we shouldn't underestimate them. That's all I would say, just because of what happened the other day.
I think I was running a poll. Basically, I gave people choices what the score prediction is, but I can't see it here anyway. But yeah, I want to hear from you. What is the VR room saying? Why not Mount off the bench and start Pelistri? What Mark is saying. Pelistri showed class.
I think Mount is going to start based on the fact that he got 45 minutes. Ten Hag's might try to give him 60 minutes this time, but it's in what position?
Okay, so how do you think that Palace will line up then? Esse will come back in, and Elise, what's his name?
Yeah, the
Elise,
strongest
yeah.
lineup is I have Esse, Schlupp, Edward, Dukerey,
Schlupp, yeah.
will use, and they have Anderson in as say center back. He's really good. He's strong. He's good in the air, and they have Mitchell and Ward as fullbacks, and Sam Johnson in goal. So the strongest team is actually quite good, and it's a hard team to beat because it's only like workhorses, and you have a couple of like special players like Esse who can dribble and do special stuff. So. It's not going to be as easy as it was a couple of days ago.
You know, if I look at one football app, their predicted lineup is kind of a little bit out of whack. They have like a Reguilon, Lindelof, Varane, Dalot. Okay, I agree with that. That's kind of the lineup. They have then put Amrabat in a double pivot with Casemiro, but the midfield is, and then you have Rashford, Fernandes, and Mejbri on the right, and Højlund as front. What about Mejbri? Mejbri will probably sit it out, right? He's played 2 games in a row.
Starting as a right winger. I think if we're looking a bit soft and not really giving it to them, I think he's the sort of player who can come on and just rattle them. But I can't see that with having Amrabat and Casemiro and Bruno that we're not going to be rattling them at all. So I think when you look at that central triangle, central three, that's not pleasant for anybody to want to have to face. I don't care who you are.
Like you're saying Mason Mount, Casemiro, Sophie Amrabat, Bruno will start. Yeah, exactly what I have here, isn't it?
So I think it's interesting. Did you see the comments that Ten Hag made the other day? He said, "I never got to play my strongest 11 yet." I was just like, right, okay. So he was talking about last season as well. So I'm not quite sure what he's referring to, who that strongest 11 is.
Well, he asked for he asked for Frankie de Jong. He didn't get a Frankie de Jong. He needed ball carrying. He needed an Amrabat type as well to play his style of football. Now he's got it. He's only missing. I think he sees Kobe Mainoo as his Frankie. Ajax Frankie.
Right.
Because if you have if you're building a squad, a replica squad of your successful squad from Ajax, you kind of look at certain personnel that have similar traits, right? If you left my job, like as a senior account manager, you know what I mean, I'm looking for the same replacement of Phil, like in the same traits, you know what I mean. So yeah, you get the best in class. So that's probably why he's mentioning it, right? But anyway, I think this will be the lineup. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, or
if I should put up a lineup, but not what Ten Hag would choose, I would have a more ball secure players. I don't think Bruno and Rashford is a good match. I think we will lose the ball way too much. As I said the other show, if you want to dominate the opposition, you have to have the ball. You have to be able to have the ball. And if you don't have the ball, you don't dominate the opposition. That's not the way it works. So the problem with Rashford and Bruno both at the same time is they are too wasteful on the ball. And I don't like it. So I would only play one of them, and that will be Bruno. I would put Rashford on the bench because he has been terrible this season. He has scored 2 goals in the last 13 league games. So his numbers is not good. And I think Garnacho is a much better player, and he tracks back and works harder. So for me, Garnacho should play.
I agree with you. I just was waiting for somebody to say, I don't see Rashford getting a free pass on this one. Ten Hag is a kind of a manager that he plays players that are informed, that is actually showing some great determination. And Garnacho has been showing some really, I mean, he came in, he scored the first goal, he provided that tenacity, he was tracking back. He was actually sublime, to be honest. So I definitely agree. I don't know if we have a consensus here. Phil, can we override Rashford and put Garnacho and Rashford off the bench?
In terms of opinion, after what Garnacho has done, I think it'd be great to see him start. He deserves it. I just don't think that Ten Hag will. The fact that he gave him a full 90 minutes We talked about rotation. We talked about resting players. He rested Rashford for a full game. And
But
so
we're talking about playing players that are in form. That's
I know, but I just think
yeah.
that if he wasn't, you know, we already had the game won. So if he wanted to give Rashford some minutes to sharpen him up, he would have done it. But he seemed to take the tactic of I'm going to rest. Or was he taking the tactic of Garnacho has been waiting, he deserves his minutes? I don't know. I mean, he's a young kid, so I'm not saying he can't play 2 games in a row. Absolutely not.
I would start Garnacho 100% and keep Rashford hungry. It's all about what we talked about in the beginning of the show.
I'd like to see it.
Get starving before you come in, like, you know, and finish off your entree, your dinner, your dessert, and everything. So everyone that's played the game, it hurts when you sit on the bench and you see somebody else playing in your position that you used to have. You know, of course, you get a little bit of jealousy, but you just get hungry. You just want to get back into the pitch, you know, and that's the only way, you know. That's the only way.
Yeah, I think maybe we see a little bit of backlash on Rashford since last season. They played a lot of games, and I think he had like 5,800 minutes or something like that. Only Bruno and De Gea had more minutes than him last season. So he's probably experienced that his legs are heavy and it's hard to get back into shape again. And maybe we can play him into form, but now we have the luxury, we have squad depth, so why don't play the players who are in form and let Rashford have a rest and no pressure, just let him sit on the bench. He can come in, play 25 minutes and play himself into form that way. I think that could be a good solution for Ten Hag.
No, sorry, I'm just Peter's Alien Tenno is going with a little bit Ten Hag-ish way of thinking, like, you know, why change a winning team, right? You know, play the same team as the winning team. Phil.
I think the only thing is the British. Well, I agree with everything you're both saying and what Alien Tenno was saying as well. I just think that the way the British press are, if Rashford starts on the bench, that doesn't help him. It doesn't help his mind. It doesn't take the pressure off. It puts the pressure on. And if he's feeling under pressure, it's not helping him. I'm not saying pander to him, but if he's showing something in training that we're not seeing and he's looking sharper after being rested, or maybe he was just benched, we don't know. We're saying rested. Maybe Ten Hag went, look, sorry, Rash, you've not been playing. I'm going to start Garnacho, and the Garnacho's turned up and, you know, got his goal. That play looked fantastic, looked sharp, trapped back right to the end. So who knows, he might get his start.
Okay, but gents, at the end of the day, like what the analogy, what I'm trying to do, and the reasoning behind what I'm saying, that if he sits off the bench, he gets hungry and comes in at the 65 minute, right, to make a difference. Start Garnacho, make him watch him, right? Make him watch him eat. Yeah, you see, like if you feed your dogs and the other dog is not getting his food, he's just waiting. Like I want so, you know. And when he gets the opportunity to eat, he will eat. You know what I mean? Or she, you know what I mean? So for me, I kind of go, logically speaking, you know, from a footballing brain, I kind of think like this is the way it's going to go out, to be honest. It doesn't come in that easy, like, you know, because you have to earn your strides in Ten Hag's team. We've seen how disciplined he'd been after the interviews and say, like, yeah, there was good performance, but he can do better. You know, he was... There was asking question about Garnacho. There was asking question about Amrabat. He didn't like overrate them. He said, yeah, I know what he can do, but he can do better. Yeah. So if you're going to apply those high standards, and Rashford hasn't really been on his bike lately, you know, just keep him there and let him get, you know, let him want. Maybe he's got some, I don't know, injury problem still. I'm not sure.
He's definitely got a confidence issue because, sorry, go on, mate.
Yeah, but if Garnacho is firing and that gives him an opportunity to rest players as well, you know, get healthy, get fit, you know, instead of you playing week in and week out, you can have a more recovery time.
I think what we're seeing and the opposition players are seeing as well in previous seasons, you've seen Rashford going down the wing, tearing straight past the defenders, leaving them for dead, knocking them 1-2 round them, playing absolutely fantastic. But this season, he's come up one-on-one, and he's like sort of panicking. You can see you can see it, and in that moment of hesitation, he's tackled and the ball's gone, and he's not sprinting back to win it back. He's just like, oh, frustrated. So it's a difficult one. It's really difficult for Ten Hag, because do you keep playing him to give his confidence back, or do you drop him and say, look, you're going to fight your own way back?
But you cannot just play somebody to get him like his confidence back if he's dragging the whole team down. That doesn't make sense.
Rooney was that sort of player. If he wasn't playing, he couldn't get his fitness. You had to play him to get his fitness up. He had to, and his game sharpness.
I feel we have the same type of player in Casemiro at the moment. Also, Phil, as you mentioned, Rooney, he also needs to play himself into form after the summer.
Oh.
He's been not good, but now we see him coming back. He needs 4, 5, 6 games, because staying on the beach at Copacabana, having a couple of extra hot dogs and on the grill and not training 100%, it takes a little bit of time. And
they're like black stallions. They're like Lipizans. They only get better when you they have to warm up first, like, and get a little bit sweaty. And it's like a Marshall amplifier. Like, it only sounds better when you crank it up. But when you play on a low volume, it sounds shit, like, in terms of amplifier. But the more you crank it up, the better the sound. I
want to do a comparison with Manchester City. They have a lot of wingers, and Jack Grealish, he was one of their best players. Everybody remember his contribution to the end of the league and the cup and the Champions League, and he was really good. But he didn't actually play. He didn't play anything before the World Cup. It was Phil Foden and Mahrez who played almost every game. But he didn't play. He was a 100 million player who was bought to Manchester City. But Pep, he kept him on the bench because he wasn't in form. So that's what good managers do. They pick the players, no matter if they were 100 million, what big name or whatever, and you play them in the right time when they are in form. So I think maybe Ten Hag should try this tactic because now we finally have some squad depth.
Yep.
100%. Got the options.
What's going? What Ivo was saying, nobody's undroppable. Like, and I had a chat up here before, but 100% you play plays that are in form and don't play favorites, and 100%. And this is my sort of logic and reasoning behind why I did what I did here. Like, I had Rashford up here, but I think I'm going to settle with this one, and I hope I have your consensus and vote. Well, you have Twitch.
Well, we have some new members.
Do we? Okay, Twitch it. All right, let's go. We have new members. Okay, we have members. Like, who gifted membership?
Angie, of course.
Oh my God. Angie just gifted memberships. I cannot see because my screen dies. Big up. And I lost my thing.
I can't do it twice.
Anyway. Phil, you have to go and get one of Buttricks or whatever you call it, the cheap store. Get a 6-pack.
So we have the new members. It's Madhouse, Craig Warby, Edward Reed, Yale Malmin, and who was the last one? And it's the Days 73. So 5 new members. Remember to thank Angie.
Family. Well, you gotta welcome to the family, eh? Bada bing. Family. All right, so I settle with this.
Sorry, comment on the from John Johnson, a question. I just want to answer that. So, no, I'm not comparing Rooney to Rashford. Absolutely not. Rooney was one of my favorite players to wear the United shirt with. He would play in any position. You could put him up front and he'd be defending left back in the 93rd minute. He was
but he's a little bit like a
workhorse. He would never stop. All I'm saying is he was the kind of player who needed minutes to get the fitness up. That's the only comparison I'm making, just to clarify.
Yeah. That's a little bit like an Amrabat. Sorry.
I see a good comment there from Mark, and also on the Jack Grealish comment from me. He said it's not because he wasn't in form, because he didn't play. He had to learn. He was not the main scorer. He was there to provide and supply for the strikers. Nothing to do with form. It's a mental game. And actually, I agree with that. That's a good comment, Mark. And that's the thing also with Rashford. He needs to learn it's a mental game, because as we mentioned yesterday, if you compare football to cycling, Rashford has to learn to be the water boy. Sometimes he has to drop down to the main peloton, get some drinking bottles and provide them to Højlund in the front. Sometimes he can't always be the main star.
No, true. All right then. Anyway, we got to move on from the score prediction because at the end of the day, guys, like, this what I picked and what we picked together, it didn't matter because Ten Hag, we never get it right. Anyway, we get surprised every time we sit here.
Wait,
okay.
wait.
Super chat.
Oh, coming up raw with a beautiful super chat, deserves a
Super chat, super chat, super chat. Super chat.
Where's the cobra coming up?
Hi, Piper.
Oh, there is the cobra. Let's go. Get in there, son. Get in, Craig Warby. You beautiful man of Manchester United supporter. What you are donating £10 to say thank you, Angie. What happened to that one? I was kind of reading it out. Who touched that? Who touched the controls?
Not me.
Who did that?
Sorry.
Was it you being Phil? Naughty boy there, Phil. Naughty boy.
Clicked the wrong button too soon. Clicked it too soon.
Best community on YouTube. Great show, Mick and Jarvis. Thank you so much, Craig Warby.
And Phil.
Thank you. And Phil. Yes, and Phil and Angie and everyone in the VR room and the community. Please, guys, tell others about this community. Welcome. Everyone is welcome. Yeah. Thank you. All right. Shall we just close this one off then? Like, in terms of what are we saying? Are we happy? Okay. Okay.
Yeah, well, the only thing we could discuss is Højlund versus Martial when we talk about players in form, because Martial, he looks really good at the moment. He was really good. He was working hard last game, scored a goal, and when he came on against Bayern Munich, he was really like playful. You could see him. He's back, I feel. So maybe Ten Hag should pick, because we also have a difficult game against Galatasaray on Tuesday, so it's not many days. So maybe it will be a good idea to give Højlund a rest because we have the chance, because Martial is in good form. So what do you guys think?
I don't know, Phil.
I think with Højlund, I think, obviously we saw the hunger in his first game against Arsenal. He looked sharp, he looked fantastic. Everyone was waxing lyrical, excited. We haven't had this kind of player. He's got one goal so far. I think he needs minutes. I think he needs time to get goal. And I think when you're playing someone like Palace, with all due respect, that's the sort of game where you want to give him a chance. You feel that if he was playing in the cup the other night, he would have got a goal or possibly two. I think his confidence needs to rise, and I think he needs to play. I think he needs to start. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it.
Mr. Bad Pass. First time I see Mr. Bad Pass in the VR room. If I haven't seen you before, welcome to the channel, sir or miss, whatever you title yourself. Anyone think Garnacho is worth a try on the right? Maybe get some crosses over. I'm not going to answer that one.
We've not seen him on the right yet, have we? We've not seen him. When he played for the under-23s, he played on the right. I think he played on the right in the Youth Cup final as well, if I remember rightly. I might not be correct in that, but I do seem to remember it. And he played well in that. But we've just not seen it under Ten Hag. So yeah, but I just don't think it's the time to start messing about. We didn't see it pre-season. I just don't think it's the sort of.
Well, here's the thing,
for what purpose, though? For what purpose? Who putting Garnacho on the right? For what purpose? Who are you going to put on the left?
Okay, look at this pattern of play. Garnacho, Reguilón will bomb forward. He will touch the touchline. Amrabat will drop down here to cover the left back position while Reguilón is bombing forward. These guys can interchange backwards and forwards. Yeah. If you all of a sudden look with this midfield selection and the striker selection, we have we would just swarm the all opposition and just have total ball possession and creating lots of overloads and runs and running from behinds. And then you have this guy here is the key. The key is actually to come in here, cut in a ball here, cut in ball, get him to score the goal because he nearly got it, right? Or a Martial as well, right? But Martial, it's not a number 9. He's more of a, how do you call it? He's a second number 9, more of a inverted winger. Right?
I think the thing with Martial is he's been so unfit for so long. You can't risk him. You can't risk starting him in such an important game. So I just think he starts Højlund, getting back to fitness, getting to full fitness. We've not seen the best of him yet. Long way to go. Very start of his beginning of his United career. Garnacho, Højlund, Martial right.
Martial on the right.
I don't think I'll see
No,
that.
I'm tired of playing players, shoehorn players, playing them in the natural position.
Yeah,
that's what we got. We have players right now. Okay, Ivo Bosic, what you saying? Reggie is bombs forward on the outside of Nacho, not inside. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. So let's do this again. let's do this new illustration again. So what you're saying? He bombs. Yeah, he goes here. Hang on. Yeah, here comes Reggie. He gets his engine revved. And then Garnacho goes on the here, right? Is that what you're saying? Overlapping. And then Garnacho sits here like, deet, deet, right? Okay, cool. Then you have Bruno here, like in the middle, covering up. Like, you have Mount here, tucking it wide left. You have Dalogo bombing forward as well, cutting in as well, right? Because that's what the fullbacks are doing, right? I was just thinking that the fullbacks are cutting in, right? While the wingers are keeping it wide. That's what I was thinking, to be fair, right? Because that was the pattern of play that we saw, on what was it? What are we today? When did we play?
Thursday. So we played on Tuesday.
Tuesday we played 2 nights ago. Yeah.
So the patterns of play, what I saw, like, okay, Dalot was like, doing interchanges, but most of the fullbacks were tucking in as well, creating like, a stopgap, like in the midfield, so nobody could cut us, like we were, like before, like, our midfield was just so shallow. You can basically, everyone was running ragged through, but now we have like we just basically congest that midfield, and we keep the wingers wide.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I'm becoming very.
Some of the are asking for Pellistri on the right, and don't start Mount. I know we're trying to move on from the starting lineup, but.
Well, at the end of the day, we can sit here and argue till the sun comes down, and the stream will go for 64 hours. But that's what I'm trying to say. It ain't gonna be this way anyway. Whatever we say here, we sat here so many times, guys. We never get it right. We don't. We will see when the lineup comes out, and we will have the warm-up session. If you're still around, we will have the warm-up, and we will then have the thriller to see who is gonna play the thriller. You know what I mean? But guys, I want to go into the next segment of the show, which is the most amusing one, which is pretty much, what it's coming, guys. Do we?
Goals.
No.
Prediction.
Oh no. Who's gonna cook the tea? Prediction that Harry Maguire's grandmother or mother will come there on the sidelines and serve biscuits and Earl Grey tea, right? So, guys, I want to hear from you in terms of score prediction. I did a poll earlier today, but for some reason I need to start up I powered up my second laptop. But I want to hear from you guys. It's going to be we had a clean sheet, 3-0. 40. Whoa, people are positive. Take it away, Jarvis. What do you think?
Yeah, when it comes to Crystal Palace and when they play their first team, I think we will be up for a more difficult team, more resilient team with better players. But Crystal Palace haven't looked good defensively. They have Aston Villa scored 3 goals against them. Wolves scored 2 against them. We scored 3 against them. Plymouth scored 2 goals against them. So their defense aren't that good. So I think we will get a couple of goals at least. So let's say we will win Mick Ruby special 3-1.
You reckon 3-1? Yeah, I did actually put a Ruby special there in the chat, to be honest, guys. I'm just going to revive the chat, and I'm going to pause this so I don't get any sound. And let me see if the chat poll is coming up. So, yeah, 3-1 Manchester United. Is that what you're saying then? I see I will reveal the poll because the poll is going to end up very soon. I put let us know your score prediction in the chat poll as well. You can still go up there and have a vote on it. That's probably the quickest way. Let me see how I pull up this poll. So basically I had 3-0 Manchester United based on the last result, 2-0 or 2-1 to United. That gives you a little bit of a range of motion. and 3-1 United or a draw. So far we're sitting on 3-0 plus, meaning when you say plus, that means more goals than 3-0, but we're keeping a clean sheet. And so far that is the second highest score at the moment. Actually, the leading score right now is a 2-0 or 2-1 to United, to be honest, right? The least one is the Ruby Classic, which is 3-1, which is on 13% at the moment. And a draw, we have 11%. I don't know why people are putting a draw at Old Trafford. Where have you been?
No.
It's time to believe.
Absolutely. I'm going with another 3-0. I don't think we're going to concede. They didn't look like scoring, and with the solidarity at the back with Amrabat, Casemiro, and the options we've discussed at the back in defence, I think I'm feeling a clean sheet. I'm feeling a clean sheet. I feel that we can do it, unless it's from a set piece. That's the only difference. That's where we're not so sharp. But otherwise, I'm going to go with 3-0 United.
3-0 United, and a header from Johnny Evans to come in from the bench.
He deserves his goal.
Deserves it. Yeah. You, Jarvis, what do you think?
Who will be the goal scorers?
What did you say first? I missed your score prediction.
Yeah, it was 3-1. 3-1. I think we will win, but I think also Crystal Palace will be more deadly because they have the strikers back. Edouard, I like him. He's like an old youngster from the under-20s of France, and he played for the PSG Academy. He's really good, but he's been struggling with injuries the last couple of seasons, but it feels like he's back this season, and he has scored a couple of goals for Crystal Palace, so he's actually really good. I think he can score for them, but for us, I think Bruno will be will have his revenge. He won't take it. He will play every game. He won't play every minute. So he sat on the bench for 90 minutes and watched.
Oh, he's hungry now. He's hungry.
He's not happy. Bruno is super hungry, so he will score at least one goal. I also hope that Højlund will get his goal in the Premier League, and maybe the old man himself, Casemiro, will score again because he's our top goal scorer. So maybe he will have his 5th goal for the season.
Okay. What is 3-1 is Lucky Singh saying here? He's going with a Ruby Classic. Guys, you got to put that in the poll as well. Like, you got to vote in the poll, because before we end the poll, we want to see the percentage, what you guys are saying as well. Please engage with the poll. I'm going to put in my here in this chat as well. Mick Ruby is changing his classic. So you guys are waiting for my score prediction. Is that what you're saying now?
Yes, we are waiting for you.
Just down
hurry.
I have a what do you say? My little I spy or whatever.
I spy with my little eye. I spy with my
little eye that it's going to be like this.
4-1.
Oh.
Yep. I usually go with the 3-1. I want to see another clean sheet, but barring the getting in other threats in there, and we might do some substitution. We got to probably doze off on a corner and get one in. I usually go with 3-1, but I think barring that, Roy Hodgson has showed so much respect, and he's coming back to Old Trafford again, and the crowd's going to be up for it. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I don't see them threatening us, to be honest. We are now defending as a team. We are attacking as a team. We are flooding that midfield. We find a patterns of play. I think it's going to be a 4-1. Wishful thinking. But my heart says 3-0. Clean sheet again. Same result. Same team, same result.
Yeah.
What if? What if pink elephants can fly?
Then we'll get the 3 points. I think we'll score goals. Clean sheet, not too. I'd love to see, because I think it'd be good for confidence for Onana. Take a little bit more, see him make a couple of saves. That'd be good. Plenty of playing out from the back, but controlled. And yeah, let's just get a 3-0. 3-0 be lovely.
We should have enough power. Yeah, 100%. But you know what, guys? Let's not jinx it here, right? What matters here at the end of the day is 3 points. That's what we want. 3 points. 3 points. 3 respect. Okay. So, but barring what we saw, on Thursday, right? You want to have, you want to build up the goal tally, right? So now is the time. Build up the goal difference. So that's why I'm saying 3-0 United again, or I said 4-1, didn't I? I stick to 4-1.
4-1.
4-1. Well, no, wait a minute. I got the right score prediction last time. I'm not a betting man, but if I was a betting man, I say same result, 3-0. I changed it, 3-0.
Well, I agree.
Eat
So.
shit.
What did you say? Eat shit.
No, I didn't. I said change it.
Achoo. Bruno, Mount, Højlund, Garnacho to score 100%. Højlund will score as well. Well, 4 goals we're having. Well, I put it there 4-1. Clean sheet 0%. We need to show the same energy as the last game. If we do 4-0, it might be 1-0. I think it will be high scoring. Henderson is out. St.
I mean, this is a good point that, Ivo Bozic has made. Eze did make a difference when he came on. But at the same time, Sam Johnson saved like 3 shots in 3 minutes from United. So there's more in our locker as well. So, yeah, Eze may score or Palace may score. They've not got Wilfried Zaha this season. It is a difference to the balance they're trying to
we
work
have Ronak.
with it.
Yeah, we have Ronak Joshi, the most positive in the chat room, saying 5-0 to Manchester United. Whoa, coming in here, hitting strong. 3-0 to Manchester United is what she is saying. What are you guys saying here? 2-1. Ellen is saying 2-1 to United. Roma 6th in the Serie A. I can see that. Anyway, what's Roma got to do with the score prediction? As is a different maker. What Kenny Fan TV is saying. What's going on with Roma? Catastrophe. It's a Thursday today. Yes, it is Europa night. Yeah. That's why people saying 2-0. Højlund first goal, Mount second half. We will see. Palace B team is awful though. Our youth team beats them. Fairness, what you're saying. I can see you, Ivo Bozic, as well. And now people are talking about Europa League. But guys, I'm going to close the poll. I'm going to end poll now because you guys had enough time. And I'm going to read it. I'm going to end the poll. And what did it go? What did I have? What happened to the poll? Yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring out the comment from Jale here. He talks about the Napoli, what they have done against Osimhen, because they have an ugly TikTok out, and it makes Jale angry. I think Osimhen is not happy at the moment at Napoli, and I heard some rumors today actually that Sancho and Osimhen could be a swap deal in January. Both players unhappy.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's got legs.
Yeah, but take it with a pinch of salt. It was just a loose rumor. It's nothing confirmed. So, yeah, but that will be something. I would take Osimhen in a heartbeat. He's like a real good striker.
That would be the missing piece. That would be the missing piece.
That would be the cherry on the crown. Guys, I want to just, before we close the shop, I just want to share the result. We had 84 votes in the chat. Big up to all of you that have been voting. On 38%. It's actually it's a tie. It is a tie. It's a tiebreaker. Wow, we have a tiebreaker on both on 38%, coming at 3-0 plus, meaning 3-0 or 4-0 to Manchester United sits on 38%. We also have a little bit more conservative regarding 2-0 or 2-1 to Manchester United on the same 38%. The lowest is a draw, still on 10%, and the third place is 3-1 to United, which is the Ruby Classic. It's got on 13%. How are we going to break this tie? We will see. We will only find out on Saturday, won't we? But 3+0, so there's a little bit of a positivity for you then. Big up. Thank you so much for everyone for participating in the poll as well. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you. 1 hour and 30 minutes into the stream is perfect to end the shop with a little bit of positivity. It's time to close the shop. Any final words before we do, gentlemen? I want to hear from you as well. We are having a final word for somebody that's coming in here with Alien Tenor coming with an uppercut. He won't give up until he had the final word. We know you, Peter. We know you. Yesterday we couldn't close the shop because of you. Jokes aside, Sancho won't give his PlayStation 5 up. No chance.
And there's actually some breaking news from sorry. There's actually some breaking news from Fabrizio Romano tonight against
Yes.
United and a new player. He says, understand Manchester United and Chelsea scouts
Laurent.
recently tracked Laurent, Brazilian top talent, born
17-year-old,
2006. Release clause included in his Flamengo deal is 50 million pounds.
It's a lot
Euros.
There's a lot. This 17-year-old, a lot of money though for a 17-year-old that plays in Brazilian league like a Flamengo. Flamengo isn't Brazil or is it Argentina?
No, it's Brazil.
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 Oh, Ganesh. So that shows me that I saw that earlier as well. But that shows me that Ten Hag is building a squad for the future as well. Like, you know, he's going for those grassroots players, young players, hungry players, you know, because if you look at it, like, you know, sooner or later, Casemiro is going to be like, you know, aging legs. Eriksen's going to have also like a downfall. And we forgot about even Eriksen in the squad here.
Yeah.
I didn't forget about Eriksen. I thought about him, but I just think that his legs have gone. I think he's going to be an impact player from the bench who, if we need to slot the ball through and play a bit more attacking, we can bring him on and try and get that through ball. But we've not seen it from him the same. So since he's had the injury off that big lanky guy with the ponytail, who shall remain unnamed, he's just not been the same player.
All right. And immediately in the chat I said we will not have 50 million in the Glazers. He's still here. Like, you know, do we have the money for the January window? Yeah. But hey, if Mr. Who knows? Who knows?
January, maybe we have new owners.
Yeah. Big up Mick Jarvis, Phil, Mods, Chat, VR Room. Great show. Big up, big up, big up. Don't forget, please, we repeat it so many times. Don't forget to become a member or join. Smash the like. Whatever. Subscribe. It's free. Hitting the like button will burn your extra calories. You know, if you want to burn extra calories. But don't break a fingernail. You just press the like. You know what I mean? So big up for all of you for sharing where you're from. We have Abdul Rahman Kanzi also here. Amrabat. Where are you from, sir? You look like you are Abdul Rahman. Where are you from? You're saying Amrabat. Are you by any chance Moroccan? Shakbarak. Yes. But everyone that came in the early to share where you're from, where your location. We are a global fan base, global community. So good to understand which location you're coming from. We have Uganda in the house. We had Canada. We had, what did we have? We have Serbia. We had Australia. We have the
Brooklyn
here also.
Canada
Brooklyn as well. Canada.
England.
Stavanger.
Denmark. Norway.
Gothenburg. But still, we didn't understand where Milos Mitic is from. He still doesn't want to reveal which city he's from. I don't know. I'm just still waiting. Anyway, guys,
we shall see.
Get those like buttons up. Please smash a little bit of a cheeky like button. And we shall see you on Saturday. Me and Jarvis will doing the warm-up show. I think we'll warm Jarvis, right? Are you informed for that?
We will try. We will try that.
We will warm it up.
I have a football tournament with my kid on Saturday, but it's done like 3:00. Yeah. When is the game?
It's 3:00 UK.
3:00 UK.
3:00 UK.
Yeah, okay, that's 4:00 Norway. So yeah, I will make.
Yeah, but also just quick reminder. I wrote that in the private comments. We do have the Fantasy Premier League football table, which we have forgotten about because there's been some international breaks. Please. If you are part of the league or you want to join the league, join. Please update your team before Friday closing date. And Jarvis, you have to remind me because I always forget because I keep playing the same players.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had 50 points last time.
Well, I did 2 subs today, so I'm ready for this round.
Okay, if you want to trading insider information, talk to Jarvis.
I subbed in Højlund. So, I think he can score a lot of goals.
We have all the way from Brunei also. Big up. We have Hadi here from Brunei. Massive shout out for Brunei. Love your country, my friend. Been there as well. Now, a lot of people tuning in from Brunei, from that part of the world, the Rikers Island. Great show, guys. Peace, love, and Onana. We haven't said that for so long. But Brunei is in the house. We have Asia Pacific. Great stuff. And I have 1 month until I departure to Thailand.
Yeah. Wow. You're so exciting.
Yes, we're going to stream from there. And I do expect you boys to come over.
Crazy hours.
Podcast. Crazy hours. Rikers Island, guys, please. It's been amazing. Yeah, we predicted the lineup, my friend. And before you go, I want to display the lineup what we did, Abdurrahman, to be honest. Like, we said this, but at the end of the day, ain't matter because Ten Hag, we never get it right anyway.
No.
Yep. Friday tomorrow, TGIF, close the shop, close the VR room, and I think we've been nice to the algorithm here. We have kept our cool and composure, so hopefully we will not get this yellow ticker. You know what I mean?
Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, guys, before you leave.
That's the only way we can beat that algorithm. Hit that like button. This has been me having my say, Jarvis having your say, Phil, your say.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining United Stand. It's been great to have you all.
Yes.
But whatever we say, without John Ball, there's no ending. But I let you say it, Jarvis.
Peace, love, and banana.
That's all, folks. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow. Bye for now. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.